Okay, friends, let's begin Sutta discussion. The Sutta we discuss today is Pahārāda Sutta. It is the discourse to Paharada. The main theme of the discourse is the 8 wonderful qualities of the Dharma-Vinaya. You can see that this special Sutta is recorded in Anguttara Nikaya. A is Anguttara Nikaya, and the section is 8, and the Sutta number is 19. If you want to go and read the Sutta again, some other time you can type any of these, then you can get it. So we are going to see how wonderful this Dhamma and Vinaya from this discourse, Paharada. So in this discussion for 1 and 15 minutes, we are going to look at the Sutta, because reading the Sutta is really important, and I must take some time to read some parts of the discourse for your understanding. So basically, we are going to keep in our mind the summary of the discourse. It is very helpful because if you want to tell what you learn about this discourse, you could keep the summary of the discourse and tell it to somebody. As monks, we cannot remember everything and every discourses in the Tripitaka. What we do is keeping a summarized version of the discourse, or at least 1 or 2 important factors of the discourse. Suttas like Mangala, Karanimitta Sutta and Ratana Sutta, Dhammacakkappavattana, they are very easy. They have been reciting and singing all the time, many times in temples and places where we have celebrations, spiritual celebration. But other discourses are not like that. They are very deep, very long and difficult to remember. So just remember some of the important factors of a discourse, then you could go into the discourse. So I'm going to discuss the summary of the discourse first. Then we are going to understand Asura. Perhaps you have heard about this word Asura. With the word Asura, we mean some type of living beings in the universe. So Buddha talks about different realms where different living beings exist depending on their karma. So one of the realm is Asura. So we are going to understand that as well. Basically, what this sutta means to us, what it brings to us, should be understood. So when I mention Mangala Sutta, you know what it brings to us. You may say that it talks about factors of Mangala, or auspicious factors of our life. There are numerous factors that bring us happiness when they are followed. You could say such things when we have Mangala Sutta. If you talk about Karanimitta Sutta, you may say that it discusses the loving kindness or other Brahma Viharas. So we have a theme or a message of each discourses. Some discourses have different messages. But what this Pahārāda Sutta tells us, we should understand that. Then the importance of understanding the Dhamma and Vinaya. Recently we had a ceremony to tell people that preserving the Dhamma and Vinaya in the name of Tripitaka is really important, because that's the core teachings of the Buddha, and we recorded them into 3 sections. So the Dhamma and Vinaya was the term that the Buddha used during his lifetime. There were no Sutta, Vinaya, Abhidhamma. Those Tripitaka came into existence later on. So the most fundamental term the Buddha used for all teaching is Dhamma and Vinaya. So in this Pahārāda Sutta, we can see the term Dhamma and Vinaya, and we are going to understand the importance of it. Okay, so this is the highlight for today's discussion. What is Asura? So have you heard about Asurusaning? So it means that quickly, straight. So Asurusaning means very speed. So this, I don't know how this came into Sinhala, but the word Asura means a type of living beings who have a lot of powers. So let's go into details of Asura. I could not find better picture of Asura. Some people, based on the Buddha's teaching, assume that Asuras are like this. They are like demons. Actually, the realm called Asura is always going with Yakka, Gandhabba and so forth. They are not peaceful living beings. They have some powers. They are called demigods. But they are always unwholesome. They quarrel each other. They are fighting with fellow Asuras because they always greedy, angry, and try to win over. Therefore, they always fight with each other. That's the usual nature of Asura according to the text. So, in the Pali literature, the Asuras are classed among the inferior deities together with the Supannas, Gandhabbas, Yakkas, Gurulas and Nagas. I do not know whether you have heard of some of these terms. Supannas, Gandhabbas, Yakkas, Gurulas and Nagas. Yakkas, perhaps you know devil. They are they have very strong physical bodies and they are evil. They always represent the negative side of human mind and the universe. And Gandhabbas, they are not that much bad, but they all equal to Yakkas and Gurulas and Nagas. They are also some powerful beings. We do not know what type of physical bodies they have, but particularly I could say that they are not like human bodies. They may be very strong and huge. You can see that in the discourse that the person, the being who talk about in the discourse called Paharada tells that there are huge, large, giant living beings under these names. So, rebirth as Asura is considered as one of the 4 unhappy rebirths and evil states, Apaya, the other beings hell, Niraya, animal kingdom, Tirachanayoni and ghost realm, Pettivishya. So we have, Asura as unhappy state here. So why do I understand Asura like this? Because one of the Asuras found in the discourse, and by his name the discourse is recorded. Paharada is a name of Asura. So that's why we are going to understand who is Asura here. 2 classes of Asuras are discussed in the text. First one, Kala Kanjakas, the second one, Dhanavegasasas. The nature of them are also discussed. The second one carried, bows in their hand. They are always warriors. They are always inclined to fight with each other. The other one always make others fear, and their appearance also are fearful. So this is some information of asuras. Let me read the discourse. Then we can understand what this Paharada means and why we need to understand asura. Before that, I would like to tell you the state of deprivation. These are the four places that beings get rebirth depending on the unwholesome activities. So you can you see the first one, purgatory, niraya, then the asuras, then hungry ghost, we call peta, then animals, tirachana yoni. We have lifespan of each realms. It varies depending on their karma, bad karma. But we can see the causes of rebirth in each realms. So unwholesome actions are the cause for being asuras. Particularly it says that 10 unwholesome actions, 10 unwholesome deeds are the main causes for one to become asuras. What are the 10 unwholesome actions? Killing living beings, stealing, misconduct, telling lies, telling gossip, and harsh speech, and useless talk, and then intense greed, and then ill will and ignorance. So 3 of them are done by our actions, and four of them are misdeed from our speech, and 3 of them are from our mind, mental actions. That's how 10 come into as a group. So unwholesomeness of these 10 ways made someone to be an asura. So you can see the other causes and conditions for being to reborn in niraya, petaloka, and tirachana yoni. So unwholesome actions and lack of virtues made people to reborn in petaloka. Not only for human beings, even divine beings could cause their unwholesome activities to be born in asura or hell or whatever places mentioned here. So these are the states of deprivation. Now I would like to read you the discourse a little bit. On one occasion, the Blessed One was dwelling at Veranja, at the foot of Naleru's neem tree. Then Paharada, the rulers of the Asuras, approached the Blessed One, paid homage to him, and stood one side. The Blessed One then said to him. So this is the introduction of the discourse of Paharada. So Buddha was in Veranja, under a tree. Then the Paharada, the ruler of Asuras, one of the great leaders of Asuras, came to the Buddha. See how even non-human beings visited the Buddha. Do you know that Buddha never became frightened, upset, scared of seeing these different type of living beings? Why? He let go of the reasons to be fear. He never get that kind of feeling, because lust, craving, attachment have been completely gone. Even if we are able to destroy ignorance, greed, hatred, and rest of the unwholesome feelings, we could be out of fear. Suppose you are in the plane and going somewhere, and the pilot announced that all the engine stuff working, So a lot of people usually pray for the God, and do they were in a very desperate situation. But the one who has destroyed the craving stay in calm and peaceful nature, because there is nothing for her or him to be fear. There is nothing to lose, because you have done with the craving attachment. Suppose you are at the edge of a huge mountain cliff, and you are helpless, you are falling down, you are near to fall down. You are not fearful, because you have no desire for your life. Suppose everyone in your family uh, meet with a terrible accident, still you may be in peaceful state. Yeah, do you remember the lady uh, at the time of the Buddha who lost everyone in the war? Her husband and many children died in the war, and while she was giving alms to monks, she got a notice from a servant, and in the notice she saw that your husband and all children died. So she read it and put it into the pocket and continued serving the food. So she was not Arahant, but Sotapanna. Even Sotapanna could have that mentality because of letting go of craving. So when Paharada came to the Buddha, we do not know what type of body shape he had. Could be a very powerful, huge person, uh, not of human form. We don't know. We do not know whether they came to the Buddha with the human form, because some divine beings and all these powerful beings could form different form of the bodies. We do not know, but Buddha was as he was. So Paharada came to the Buddha and paid homage to the Buddha. This is very significant. We human beings do not get that kind of respect and venerations, but Buddha always get it from human beings, divine beings, because Buddha's life was so fortunate. That's why we have a name for the Buddha, Bhagava. The Bhagava is not a name. It is given to the Buddha uh, because of his fortune. He was a very obedient, very colorful, very powerful, handsome person as a prince. And even after becoming a mendicant, his glamour, handsome ofness, and also the power and the kind of charisma did not go. Sometimes people cut hairs and then change the clothes. They looks different. The beauty of the body is gone. But the Buddha, in that case, was so remarkable. His charisma, the personality develops further when he renunciated. So, therefore, Buddha was Bhagava because of his fortune. Now, Paharada paid homage to the Buddha and said to him, Paharada, do the asuras take delight in the great ocean? So Buddha knew Paharada. Actually, Buddha knew each and everyone in the world system. Buddha could read others' mind. Buddha knows where this person came from, and all the background history is known to the Buddha. Buddha asked Paharada, do the asuras take delight in the great ocean? Are your people happy in the great ocean? Now we know that the Paharada lives in the great ocean. We don't know which ocean. Maybe Pacific, maybe Atlantic, maybe Indian or Arctic, whatever. Bhante, the asuras do take delight in the great ocean. Of course, they are very delightful. They are very happy about their living. They are very happy about their dwelling places. But Paharada, how many outstanding and amazing qualities do the asuras see in the great ocean because of which they take delight in it? So, why do they take delight in their dwelling places? What kind of outstanding and interesting, beautiful things you have in the great ocean for them to become uh, so much delightful about the ocean? Uh, then Asura Paharada said, the Asuras see 8 outstanding and amazing qualities in the great ocean because of which they take delight in it. What 8? So, because of the 8 wonderful, marvelous things that Asuras are so happy about their dwelling places. If I ask the question uh, that how many wonderful qualities do you have about your house? We may say that I have a room which has uh, some flowers and my beds are so colorful and I can see through the window and I can see flowers and oh, something like that you could say. If you ask a question, what kind of delightful things you have at the temple, I can say that this is not a busy place, and I like the silence sometime, and I like the Bodhi tree, and I have a shrine. So we all have such things in our life. So the leader of the Asura said that they are very, very happy about their place because of 8 outstanding, wonderful things. Now we are going to look at these 8 wonderful qualities of the great ocean. If I asked what type of great qualities the ocean has from your own imagination or understanding. Movements. Okay. Yeah, that's happened always. That's a very uh, yeah, wonderful thing in the sea. We cannot see that sea has stopped that waves like current behavior of the sea. What else do you think? Yeah, different type of fish. Actually, mm, the number of living species in the ocean uh, is huge, greater than in the uh, you know out of the ocean on the soil. So we do not know how many species. Perhaps scientists have found out it, but I do not know. But in my opinion, there are many because the 2/3 of the planet Earth covers by the water, sea water. So we can imagine that there would be a large number of living species in the oceans, for great oceans. What else? So we can find gems, gold, and so many valuable items of appreciation uh, in the soil. So there would be many in the ocean, right? So yeah, these are some of the valuable things in the great ocean. Let's see what Paharada said. The first one, the great ocean, Bhante, slants, slopes, and incline gradually, not dropping off abruptly. This is the first outstanding and amazing quality that the Asuras see in the great ocean because of which they take delight in. So, the first one the Paharada said is that great ocean deepens gradually. The great oceans deepens gradually. This is the first wonderful quality asuras delight in. Let's go through all these 8 wonderful, remarkable qualities of the great ocean. Again, the second one. Again, the great ocean is stable, does not overflows its boundaries. The second one is the great ocean does not overflow its boundaries. Do you accept this?
No.
No.
Not anymore.
With the tsunamis. You may not be in a position to accept it, but it is because of the man-made or natural disasters. But usually it does not overflow, right? It is in a certain particular circumstances the sea comes up and destroy everything, but the normal pattern of the sea is staying its boundaries. So at the time of the Buddha there wouldn't be any such thing. But in my opinion, Buddha talks about the general truth of the sea, not these specific conditions. So this is the second wonderful aspect of the great ocean. Now we go to the third. Again, the great ocean does not associate with the corpse, quickly carries it to the coast, beach, and wash it ashore. This is the third one. So the great ocean rejects dead bodies. I still think how this happen if we put a dead body into deep sea. I don't think it comes to the beach because either fish take it, otherwise it could be I'm not sure, because that's what it says. Basically, if you put something 2-3 kilometers away from the beach, it definitely comes to the beach, because that the current of the water takes everything to the beach and push it to the ground. So I have seen this, and you have seen this many times, because the water always pushed everything except the heavy stuff under the sea to the shore. So this is the third remarkable quality. The fourth one, when the great rivers, like Ganges and Yamunas and Achiravati, Sarabu and Mahi, they are all great rivers in India, reach the great ocean, they give up their former names and designations and are simply called the great ocean. So all the rivers, not only in India, even here, flow down to the sea, the great ocean, and then we cannot recognize the waters in the sea, that this water came from this river and that river. So with the complete ending of the flow of water, they are called sea water. They mix with the rivers water mixed with the salt water, then they are called great ocean. So this is the fourth marvelous quality, that asuras like the sea. Now the fifth one, despite the inflows by rivers and rains, the great ocean water is stable. The whatever stream in the world flow into the great ocean, and however much rain falls into it from the sky, neither a decrease nor a filling up can be seen in the great ocean. This is the fifth quality. That this is one thing that asuras like about the sea. Perhaps you could not still understand what this means and how the Buddha compare these remarkable, excellent qualities of the sea, of the ocean, into the Dhamma. So wait and see how Buddha compare these things into the Dhamma and Vinaya. The sixth one, Again, the great ocean has but one taste, the taste of salt. This is the sixth outstanding and amazing quality that the asuras see in the great ocean. So, no matter from where you take water from the sea, the the taste of the sea water the of the sea is salty. This is very common and very simple message. So when it comes to the Dhamma, what does it mean? So let's see. Now we go to the seventh quality. The great ocean contains many precious substances. Numerous precious substances such as gold, pearl, gem, and silver, rubies, cat eye. So many things are there in the great ocean. I think if we take the gold and silver, diamonds and gems, everything in this world as 100, I think 90% of them could be found in the seawater. In my view, because it is they are uncovered yet. Perhaps people cannot reach to these minds yet. But Buddha said that the amount of precious jewel, gold, silver, diamond, and so forth are greater than the earth. So this is the seventh quality that asuras delight in the great ocean. We go to the last one. The great ocean is a abode of great beings such as Timingalas, Timirapingalas, Asuras, Nagas, Gandhabas, and so on. The great ocean is a place of living for many types of giant animals. We know that whales, blue whales, huge different type of living beings exist in the seawater. We haven't seen any asuras, gandhabas, and so forth in the asura, but the sutta witnessed that they live in the great ocean. Perhaps their dimension is different from us, therefore we could not see. Right? Our dimension is totally different from many living species in the universe, therefore we could not see them. Perhaps their dimension would be better than us, greater than us. They could perhaps see us. So they may live in the so the eighth one is about living species in the seawater. So these are the eight marvelous and wonderful, outstanding things that asuras like the sea, like the ocean. So Paharada related to the Buddha that these are the eight factors that asuras like their living place. Then Paharada said to the Buddha that, Bhante, how many outstanding and amazing qualities do the bhikkhus see in this Dhamma and discipline because of which they take delight in it? So now Paharada's turn came and he asked the question, how many wonderful and outstanding qualities are there in the Dhamma and Vinaya that bhikkhus and bhikkhunis and lay followers delight in the teaching? So how many facts, how many things you see to decide this Dhamma and Vinaya is wonderful? So you have knowledge in the Dhamma and Vinaya? Oh, so wisdom. Okay. That's why, that's one thing you'll delight in the Dhamma.
Yes.
Okay.
And you can question the Dhamma.
Okay.
You don't agree with it, you can ask, what does this mean? Is that right?
Mm.
Right?
Yeah, any other things you could share?
And discipline.
Yeah, there is a discipline. Then you like the Dhamma and Vinaya because it discipline you. It discipline you on whatever you want, right? So yeah, we could say that I find happiness out because of the teachings of the Buddha. I whenever I am upset, the thing I could take in is the noble eightfold path, or the any other thing Buddha explain. So each person has different answers, different opinions about the importance of the Dhamma and Vinaya. Even if this question is asked from Venerable Sariputta and Moggallana, Ananda, three of these great monks would answer differently. So it depends on personal perspectives, aspect, and experiences. That's why we have this statement called Pacchattam Veditabbo Vinyohiti. Dhamma is understood based on uh, personal, individual knowledge and experience. So Buddha said, Bhikkhus see 8 outstanding and amazing qualities in this Dhamma and Vinaya or discipline, because of which they take delight in it. What 8? So even like you people, you asuras delight in the great ocean because of the 8 things you explain. Bhikkhus, uh, bhikkhus here represent the other 3 set of disciples as well. Bhikkhus and bhikkhunis, male and female lay followers, also have 8 things in this Dhamma and Vinaya. That's why they delight in it. Let's see what these 8 things. That's the core of the discourse. That's the important part of the discourse for us. The first one, Buddha said, Paharada, just as the great ocean slopes gradually, slide gradually, incline gradually, not abruptly like a precipice. So too, Paharada, in this Dhamma and Vinaya, the training is gradual, the task is gradual, the way is gradual. There is no sudden penetration of knowledge. So now it is very clear, just like the ocean has a gradual, progress from the beach to the deep sea of the level of the water or the size of the water, volume of the water. This Dhamma and Vinaya has Anupubba Sikka, Anupubba Kriya, Anupubba Patipada. Gradual restraint, Anupubba Sikka, gradual Anupubba Kriya, gradual action, gradual, doing things on the training principle. Then Anupubba Patipada, gradual gaining of spiritual practice. It means that we have Sila, Samadhi and Panya as the three training principles. So one takes some of these 3 at a time and train himself or herself in the Sila, Samadhi and Panya. That's how one start the training and continue training on the right path. So the results come according to the level of Sila, Samadhi and Panya he or she takes. No one can jump to their enlightenment. No one can take the enlightenment immediately after starting the training. If that happens, all these great disciples could have attained to full enlightenment in previous Buddha's dispensation. Many of them were disciples of the Buddha Kassapa, the self-enlightened Buddha before the Gautam Buddha. Many of them were there as monks and nuns, at least lay people. But their attainment to full enlightenment did not happen because they did not have enough strength and energy to do that. So they aspired to see a future Buddha and gain enlightenment. I'm not suggesting you to stop your training to attain enlightenment right now and wish to see another Buddha. That's what not we see in the direct message of the Buddha. Try your best and attain enlightenment in this very life is the message of the Buddha. But some people do that. Some people aspire to stay in the samsara as humans and divine beings and collect so much merits and do their final attempt to nibbana in a future Buddha sasana. It could happen. So what we are discussing is that Buddha's training is gradual. No one has taken the training and gain final knowledge immediately after. When I say this, you may remember some disciples of the Buddha attained full enlightenment while listening, right? They didn't show any type of prior practice before the listening to Dhamma and attained to enlightenment immediately or during the sermon. So you may question how it happened without any prior practice, without any homework. Friends, if you read their history, they were practicing meditation in previous lives. For example, monk Bhante, he got enlightened while listening to a small message of the Buddha, 4 lines. After the 4 lines, he got into full enlightenment. While standing, he got it. So, how that happened to him? How could he penetrated into the noble teaching and Vinaya in such speed? His historical record says that he was a monk. He was a monk in previous lives. During the Buddha Kassapa, he was meditating with some of his friends, and throughout those lifetimes from previous Buddha to Gautam Buddha, he was doing his homework. As a result of rigorous, very strong commitment to the practice, he could attain to full enlightenment while listening to a small message of the Buddha. While standing, he could attain to full enlightenment. So all of these quick knowledge people who had quick knowledge, sharp knowledge, got into enlightenment because of their previous practices. So it shows again that Buddha's training should be taken as a gradual practice. This makes us happy in a way, because you know that this life is going away from you because of age, because of circumstances that happen because of the age, and so many things going on. On one hand, you are unhappy because you are not enlightened yet. On the other hand, you are happy because of some meritorious deed you did. So somehow people become upset. Oh, no matter how hard we tried, we could not feel that we are enlightened. But I always tell these people not to worry, because this is a gradual training. If you take care of your activities right now and add compassion, kindness, mindfulness, wisdom into it. Do not worry about the time you attain enlightenment. Let it happen. When everything comes together, it happens. Only thing you need to do is to apply this gradual training on Sila, Samadhi and Panya. It is very clear. So Buddha said to Paharada, bhikkhus and bhikkhunis, male and female followers are very happy about the teaching Dhamma and Vinaya because of the first one. We have 7 more. It's a gradual training. Everyone has an opportunity to take the gradual training and get closer to enlightenment. Second one, you can see it. Just as the great ocean is stable, just as the great ocean is by nature stable, it does not overflow its margin. So too, we read that when we see the 8 marvelous, outstanding qualities of the great ocean. So too, Paharada, I have prescribed training rules for my disciples, which they would not transgress even for life's sake. So whatever I recommended for disciples never been violated. I think that this sutta or the conversation between the Buddha and Paharada happened in the first 20 years of the Buddha's ministry, because after first 20 years issues came into exist. Monks and nuns received so many material things, reputations. They were well respected in the society, so a lot of people entered to the order as monks and nuns just to survive, just to live a peaceful, luxurious life. Therefore, they did not do well with the Vinaya and the practice. So this quality of the Dhamma of the Buddha could not be matching with some behaviors of the monk. Some violated rules intentionally because they did not have a clear vision about what they do. So I have prescribed training rules for my disciples, which they would not transgress even for sake of life. So this could happen only in the first 20 years of the Buddha's ministry. After first 20 years, slowly issues came into excess, like monks, did not meditate well, and they have issues on moral principles, and even Buddha got out of a monastery in Pahārāda and went to the forest because he could not advise some monks. They did not listen to the Buddha. But when we consider the whole community of monks and nuns, basically, they were very obedient to the advice of the Buddha. That's why there were many arahants. There were many other enlightened beings at the time of the Buddha, because they listened to the Buddha's advice, not even think about violating a single rules he put forward, and as a result they got into enlightenment. This is the second one. Just like the ocean limit its function at the beach, the bhikkhus and bhikkhunis and lay followers in the order never violate, right? The third one, Paharada, just as the great ocean does not associate with the dead, a carcass, whatever that is dead, a carcass, the great ocean quickly carried it to the shore, washed it onto the land. The Sangha does not associate with the person who is immoral, of bad character, of impure and suspicious conduct, secretive in deeds, not a recluse that pretending to be one, incelibate but pretending to be celibate, rotten to the core, lustful and filthy by nature, the Sangha communes not with such a one, but having quickly assembled, it expels him. Even though he sits in the midst of the Sangha, yet he is far away from the Sangha, and the Sangha is far away from him. I don't think this happened today. This is what we saw from the time of the Buddha. I remember one incident that one monk was immoral. I do not recall what he did, but he was immoral because of misbehavior. He was among the Sangha in the Sima to do a Vinaya Karma. Buddha and Arhants and any gathering with wholesome pure monks do a Vinaya Karma after clearing the community of monks. If there is one immoral person, he should be out of that assembly. Until the immoral people get out of it, they don't start the process. So Buddha went to the assembly. Of course, before the Buddha, everybody else gathered. Like today, the leaders come as last, right? So Buddha came to the hall where the Vinaya Karma is taking place as at last, and he was sitting silently without starting. Then Venerable Moggallana was there, who is Moggallana is the one who is able to say something beyond human perception, right? We could perceive whatever we see, but we could not perceive what we do not see. We do not see who is outside of this building now. But if you have psychic powers and powers that deals with reading others' mind and seeing all these things, could see what is going on outside of the building, who is standing outside of it. So Venerable Moggallana saw that that monk sitting in the middle of the Sangha was immoral. He is not suitable to stay here. So he went to that monk and said kindly, silently, I know who you are and I know what you did. Please go out. But this monk did not do any movements. He thought that it was for somebody else. Then Venerable Moggallana took him by his hand and took him out of the hall. So that's one incident I could recall, that the Sangha took immoral people out of the gathering, out of the Sangha. Sometimes you could hide your misdeed, because if you did something in your own where there is no one else present, nobody knows it, right? So still, theoretically, spiritually, you are not a part of the Sangha. Your mind knows that you are wrong. The bad powers you accumulate out of that hiding secretness is so severe. So that's why it says that even though he sit in the midst of the Sangha, yet he is far away from the Sangha, and the Sangha is far away from him. So Buddha said to Paharada, just like the dead bodies are carried to the shore and put them in the land by the waves, immoral people, immoral monks, immoral nuns, immoral not here lay people, because Vinaya Karma are done with the ordained Sangha, bhikkhus and bhikkhunis. So they are put out of the community of Sangha. That's the third marvelous principles, outstanding things that monks like and say in the Dhamma-Vinaya. Now we are going to have the fourth one. Paharada, just as all the great rivers, that is to say the Ganges, the Yamuna, the Achiravati, the Sarabu and Mahi, or upon reaching the great ocean, losing their former names and gotra, come to be known simply as the Great Ocean. When these four classes, now we have the similarity. Now, when these four classes, the Shastriya, the Brahmin, the Vaishyas, and the Sudras, having gone forth from the house for the homeless life into the Dhamma and Vinaya proclaimed by the Tathagata, they abandon their former names and gotras and are simply known as Sakya Putta recluses or the bhikkhus and bhikkhunis. So, no matter from which area, which clan, which family background you came in, you are a bhikkhu or bhikkhuni now. You have to leave your lay name and take a new name as well. So, Upatis became Sariputta, and what is the other name? Kolita is known as Moggallana. But there were some monks and nuns who used to call by their lay name. Even Sariputta and Moggallana did not claim that hereafter I am Sariputta, hereafter I am Moggallana. It is the society of monks and nuns and lay people named as Sariputta and Moggallana. But when it's come to the 19th and 20th and 21st century, the new tradition began to name people when they with different names when they become monks and nuns. That's how system goes. So basically, this means that you have to forget your family background. You have to forget whatever you achieved, accomplished as a layperson. You are a monk. The main and the wonderful thing you now take is you are equal like other monks and nuns, because you are in a training to let go of ego. If you are in a position or training or place to let go of ego, how could you go with all these backgrounds? Yeah. So this is the marvelous quality. Like the water from different rivers are named by seawater when they ended their journey in the sea. All the people who came from different background, different countries, places are called bhikkhus and bhikkhunis. Now the fifth one, despise those stream that flows into the great ocean and the showers that fall from the sky. Neither the decrease nor the fullness of the great ocean is evident. So the rivers flow every day. Rain drop, takes place most of the time of the year. But we could not see the great ocean, the level of the water of the great ocean increase. Now you have a scientific evidences, right, that water from the sea and the rivers and evaporate, I would say, and become cloud, and then the cycle. You know about the cycle of how rains takes place. So how then you can argue how could this happen? How could this happen? But scientific evidences are there that the seawater, comes up and it's slowly the land is eroded because of the sea level erosion and going up. So things are there, but generally, from a general view, you could not see that the seawater is going up. It happens for 100 years, 200 years. You can see the difference for such a long period of time. Generally, the sea water is same as it was. So to Paharada, although many monks attain the nirvana elements without residue, neither the decrease or the fullness of that nirvana element is evident. Do you understand that? It says that lot of monks, because even some lay people attain to nirvana. But nirvana is not a place. Nirvana is not a limited mention that only a number of bhikkhus and bhikkhunis and lay people go into. The element of nibbana is a state of mind that anyone can achieve, that anyone can go into. When we say this by language, people always, some, not many of listen, but some people get into the idea that we could go there, right? We could. It's a place. It's a kind of sanctuary where so many beautiful things happen. No old age, no sicknesses, no death, no anything bad happen. No, it's a mental state. And the element of nibbana, when we use the element, it's a nibbana dhatu. It's it doesn't fool anyway. There are no such things. So comparison is there. If you cannot understand the Dhamma statement, look at the simile, right? No matter how many rivers are there and the water flows every moment to the sea, and the rain drops, it rains everywhere in the world, but the sea water never increase. So we can understand the simile now. Then put into the Dhamma there that no matter how many bhikkhus and bhikkhunis in the past, at the present, in the future attain to nirvana, nibbana element is not full. You could try for it. It's your nirvana. It's your nibbana elements. That's what it means. Now we go to the sixth one. Paharada, just as the great ocean has only one taste, the taste of salt, so too Paharada, this Dharma-Vinaya has only one taste, the taste of freedom. This is one of the famous out of 8. Either because of its powerful message, and it's not that long too. It's very clear. The taste of the seawater is salty no matter from where you take it. Like that, each words of the Dhamma brings you freedom of suffering. Suppose you take the Four Noble Truths and try to apply it, you would experience kind of relaxation, kind of peace, out of experience out of suffering. Suppose you take another set of teaching like 5 spiritual faculties like Shraddha, Virya, Sati, Samadhi, Panya. The same thing happened. The teaching uttered by the Buddha for 45 years has that taste. It is for tasting freedom from suffering. So this is the sixth quality that bhikkhus and bhikkhunis and lay followers take delight in my Dhamma and Vinaya. The seventh one, the Paharada, the great ocean has many treasures. You can see them here like pearl, crystal. I do not know many of them, right? I have a zero knowledge about all the silver, gold. I haven't seen many of them actually. So too Paharada, this Dhamma Vinaya has many treasures, various treasures. Here they are. These treasures, that is to say the 37 limbs or factors of awakening in 7 sects. So you know these sets of Dhamma. the four focuses of mindfulness. It's called Satara Satipatthana, right? Mindfulness on body, mindfulness on feelings, mindfulness on mind, mindfulness on Dhamma. That's called four focuses of mindfulness. The four right striving to stop moments in which we have unwholesomeness, right? That's the first one. If you have unwholesomeness arisen always, your striving is to let go them off. That's the second one. Third one is striving to get wholesome state. You don't have it now, but you try your best to have them. Then the fourth one, the last one is maintaining what you achieved in the name of wholesome. These are the four right striving. Then the four part to spiritual success. Chanda, Chitta, Virya, Vimansa. Willingness to, or willpower to do good things. Chanda, Chitta, and the mind for that, intention for that. Virya, then effort for that. Then the Vimansa, investigation, taking care of what you have. So these are the four paths to spiritual success. 5 spiritual faculties, Shraddha, Virya, Sati, Samadhi, Panya. Right? Then 5 spiritual powers, the same thing. Then we have 7 factors of enlightenment. Mindfulness, Dhamma-Vichaya, investigation, then Virya, perseverance, Rapture, Piti, Passaddhi, tranquility, Samadhi, concentration, and Upekka. The last sect is the Noble Eightfold Path. So these are the treasures in the Dhamma. The ocean has treasures like gold, silver, crystal, gems, and so on. These are the gems we have in the Dhamma and Vinaya. Do you like to make a garland or ring or out of whatever you like from these gems? Right? We should have. I always tell people that you may have rings, earrings, and garlands or whatever made out of gold or gems, or wear them because they are material things. We don't do that because of our promise, our vow in the training, but you can have it. In the same way, color your mind with gems like these wonderful qualities. If there is mindfulness, wisdom, faith on your practice, always, you are always beautiful. We can beautify our mind by these gems. So it's very matching and wonderful teachings of the Buddha, that like the gems, crystal, diamonds, gold, etc. in your possession, have these gold like, gems like, crystal like, diamond like, good practices, qualities in you, then you are a diamond, little diamond. So this is the 7 wonderful and outstanding quality of the Dhamma and Vinaya that monks and nuns and lay people take delight in. Buddha said. We go to the
up to 37, right?
Yeah,
37.
11 limbs. Paharada, the great ocean, is an abode of great beings. We know that whales, blue whales, shark, huge animals are there that we do not know perhaps. So it's a place for living of all these great beings. In it, these beings, that is to say, these Timings and all these names. It's have you seen this? There are in this great ocean beings 100 yojanas long. A yojana is 4 kilometers. It's 400 kilometers. And 200 yojanas long. It's 800 kilometers. 3 yojanas long. My goodness. 4 yojanas long. 5. Buddha said that. in one occasion, Venerable Moggallana and Lakkana came to the Buddha, and Moggallana saw a huge mountain-like Peta, and he reported this incident to the Buddha, and Buddha said, Moggallana, I have seen such Petas many times, but I do not tell it to people because they think that I say something rubbish, something uh, not true, because we cannot see them. This universe is so vast, even Buddha did not give a clue about it. It is not uh, understandable by human mind. Therefore, how can we conclude that there are no such beings in this universe? I have seen some pictures that a huge snake in the Amazon forest. So the picture was taken from a satellite, and it's a fish. I think more than 100 meters long. Huge snake. So people questions whether this is true or untrue. We don't know. There may be. Why can't we see them? Because I think the dimension, our physical eye is not uh, able to see these animals. So that's what I wanted to share here. So to Paharada, this Dhamma and Vinaya is the dwelling of great beings. Here there are these beings, that is to say, those who practice for the realization of the fruit of string winning, those who follow the Dhamma in the Sila Samadhi and Panya to attain Sotapanna fruition. They are still not in Sotapanna. Their practice is to gain it. Then the second category is stream winners, those who gain it. And the third one, those who gain the Sotapanna but strive to gain the second level of enlightenment. So they are in between Sotapanna and Sakadagami. So the fourth one, Sakadagami, once returner. Then those who practicing for the fruit of non-returner. Then the sixth, non-returners, Anagami. Now Anagamis are striving to gain full enlightenment. Arahantship is the seventh, and the last one, Arahant. These are the great beings compared to giant fish in the ocean. Yeah. So I want to go back. So these are the 8 outstanding qualities of the ocean, as Asura Pahārāda said. The great ocean deepens gradually. The great ocean does not overflow its margins. The great ocean rejects dead bodies. The 5 rivers merge into the great ocean, losing their names. Despite the inflows by rivers and rains, the great ocean's water is stable. The great ocean has only one taste, the taste of salt. The great ocean contains various kinds of treasures. The great ocean contains huge, great, giant animals, fish. So, do you remember the similar Dhamma to each of these? The great ocean deepens gradually. Of course, the Dhamma and Vinaya has a gradual path, right? Gradual training, gradual practice, and gradual attainments. The great ocean does not overflow its margin, right? Just like that, the recommendation Buddha made are not violated by his disciples, even with the risk of their lives. The great ocean rejects dead bodies, so the immoral bhikkhus and bhikkhunis are expelled. Even though they are not expelled, they are not spiritually connected to the Sangha. The five rivers merge into the great ocean, losing their names. Likewise, those who come from different educational, cultural, geographical backgrounds, they all let go of their history and became bhikkhus and bhikkhunis, and that's all their designation after that. Despite the inflows by rivers and rains, the great ocean's water is stable. Water from the rivers flow down to the the ocean, and the rains through rains water, uh, merge with the seawater, but the level of the seawater doesn't change. Likewise, the Nibbana elements is unchanged no matter how many number of bhikkhus and bhikkhunis and lay people attain to nirvana. You have still the possibility. Nibbana is not a place like a shopping mall. In a shopping mall you have a capacity. Nibbana has not that capacity. It is not a thing, it is not a place, it is not a substance that has limited space. It is a mental state, it is a quality that you attain. You could have that attainment always. The great ocean has only one taste, the taste of soul. In the Dhamma, you have the taste of freedom. The great ocean contains various kinds of treasures. In the Dhamma, you have treasures, the 37 factors of enlightenment. When you say 37 factors of enlightenment, it covers entire wholesome teaching. Actually, we have unwholesome factors of the Dhamma. It does not mean that they are bad. Buddha talks about attachment. Buddha talks about five hindrances. Buddha talks about sangyojana. They are not to follow. They are to let go of. Buddha talks about the unwholesomeness, negative, detrimental factors of our life. They are also Dhamma, but they are not to follow. What to follow is called Saddhamma, the good Dhamma, and they are included into 37 factors of enlightenment. They are the gems, they are the crystal, they are the diamonds you should wear, you should have in your life. The great ocean contains, how do you pronounce this? Gargantuan, very old English, I think. Very great, huge beings like whales and so on. We have great beings in the Dhamma and Vinaya. There are 8 types of individuals, starting from the people who practice to attain Sotapanna to the Arahants. So at the end of the discourse, Paharada became delighted about the Buddha's sermons, but there is no indication that he got into enlightenment. In many occasions, people at least get into Sotapanna or any level below that, like Samadhi levels, by listening, but there is no indication in the discourse or in the commentary that Paharada got any of this. But he was a very good person, I think, because he respected the Buddha. He was engaging with the Buddha many a time in the history. And there were other asuras came to the Buddha, Vepachitti. If you listen to Mahasamaya Sutta and some other suttas, there were some asuras came to the Buddha, and there were constant relationship with the Buddha. So that's the discourse for today. I hope you could remember these 8 marvelous, outstanding things in the Dhamma-Vinaya. Yes?
If I was Paharada, his name is Paharada, right?
Yeah.
Paharada. I would have mentioned 9 outstanding quality of the ocean.
What is the...
And Lord Buddha could have said that applies to Buddhism also.
So what would Paharada miss?
9th one is, and everybody knows that, from my very small days, even now, what I like about the ocean is that walking on the beach is a nice thing. I always like to walk on the beach.
Okay.
Right? It's a good exercise also, and I like to just walk.
So perhaps...
Buddha could have said, yes, like that, people who want to follow me can walk behind me.
that wouldn't be a outstanding thing for living beings in the ocean, right? It is good for people, right? It is because Paharada is talking about 8 qualities that fish or animals in the ocean see, take delight. So they do not like that. It's not thing for asuras to delight in when people walk in the beach, right? Then we can add such thing like huge giant ships, go through the
No, I thought
oceans.
I thought Buddha can say the people walk, they are also following me. Same thing.
Now this is the case, these are 8 things that Paharada says in as a being in the ocean.
No, I understand that.
Yeah, I know.
What was that second one? I cannot remember.
The great ocean does not overflow its margin.
Margin, yeah. How does it
Big,
relate to Dhamma?
yeah, it's Buddha recommended. Buddha, put Vinaya rules. Monks do not go beyond that. Whatever the Buddha said, they followed it.
Okay.
They did not come to question. Actually, I told you that it happens in the first 20 years. After that, things change because of so many reasons. Buddha had said that in Vimansaka Sutta that you could question me, and you know what? Buddha's approach to people is so peaceful, and whatever he says makes sense. We are very poor in that, right? We say Dhamma as we read and thought of and so forth, but still it's not, not easy to understand, Simon. But Buddha's words and sentence patterns, the way he explained, and his the physical and mental behavior is so welcoming, and it invites people to listen to him. And I don't think that Buddha, people who met the Buddha did not get that. Everyone, many of them got the message. Those who did not get it, could not attain to enlightenment because of lack of qualities. Yeah, he said that you could question me, you could question the Dhamma. Do not accept anything just because, I say or so on. Buddha gave the freedom for people to think about it. In the Kalama Sutta, at the end of the Kalama Sutta, he said that if this word, if this action, if that thought, arises greed, hatred, and delusion, that's the place where you decided that this is wrong. Any words, any conversation, any actions we do, let us in greed, hatred, and ignorance. That's the thing you need to let go and overcome.
Even in that
Ehipasiko, yeah. That's the quality you have. Come and see.
Come and see.
So that freedom is there. Yeah, Buddha said in Vivansaka Sutta, Kalama Sutta, in many discourses that you have 100% freedom to judge Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. So that's the end of today's discussion. I guess we can have questions later on if you have any. So thanks for coming, and I wish you could see the Dhamma and Vinaya in a different angles and have a very strong confidence on it. This is the message of the discourse. So Dhamma and Vinaya of the Buddha are not for anything else but to take it in a positive way and make your way to nirvana with it. So I hope you have that essence by this discussion. I wish you Nibbana very soon. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.